What's up, everybody, and welcome in to another edition of Big Men on Basketball. It is Monday, January 2nd, 2023. I hope you're all having a great day wherever you are. We're back here live on a Monday, turning the page on 2022. We are now into 2023. What's your New Year's resolution? We're going to get ours started today, hopefully with a win or two on a small slate of college basketball. We've got the Rose Bowl coming up at 5 o'clock Eastern, about an hour from now. We also have a great game tonight in the NFL. We are breaking down Bills, Bengals, one of the final Monday night games of the season. And again, we are here live on the Barstool Sportsbook YouTube channel. Not a ton of content going on today, but as is customary with me, the days keep going and the games keep coming. So we'll break them down and chat with you as well. I don't know how many people we're going to get here today. A lot of people are treating this as a holiday, if you will. Some people are even working. I don't really even know what is going on with certain people. I don't even, is this a legitimate holiday? I don't really know. I'm not real sure. However, I'm here, not really worried about it. It's just another day to me. By the way, if you're in the state, the great state of Ohio, you can now bet on the Barstool Sportsbook. So go do that right now. If you're in Columbus, Cincinnati, Cleveland, wherever you are. By the way, there's a lot of C cities in Ohio. You ever think about that? Cincinnati, Columbus, Cleveland, all those. So check that out. Go put your bets in today on the Barstool Sportsbook if you are in Ohio or any place in the country that has the Barstool Sportsbook. How was everybody's New Year's? For me, I had a good one. I enjoyed it. It was really just a regular Saturday, Sunday, though, right? Because, New Year's was on a Sunday, New Year's Day. Just kind of watched football. Then I went out like I normally do, had a nice meal, watched a Sunday night game, just hung out. It was a normal kind of night for me, and then a normal Saturday for me. So I enjoyed it, had a good time. Hope you had a good day as well. If you have a game you want me to talk about, please drop it in the chat. I got a couple in college that I'm going to get to. Not a ton going on tonight in college basketball, but I have two games I wanted to talk about. But I want to talk about the Rose Bowl as well. And I actually want to get to these college games, then we'll do that. So, by the way, if you have something to say, drop it in the chat. I'll get to that in just a second. I want to break down just a couple of games in college basketball. This is an interesting one. Oklahoma State, West Virginia. Both these teams coming off very hard-fought games over the weekend, the one of which was West Virginia. They were on the road in Manhattan against Kansas State, lost the game by, I believe, 6 in overtime. Again, I'm going to keep telling you guys, Kansas State is a very good basketball team. They're a sleeper to me in college basketball this year. Keontae Johnson is terrific. I got to tell you, I like the under in this game. I think this is a game where I think you have two offenses that are going to be stuck in the half court. I think as long as you don't get Oklahoma State turning the basketball over a ton, I think this game is very much played in the half court. You have two long teams. Cisse and Oklahoma State are huge. I think as long as West Virginia doesn't continue this torrid three-point shooting that they've had, and this seems like just a game where you see regression from the three-point line, right? A Monday night game, kind of a sleepy night. Your students aren't back fully. I think this could be a night where West Virginia maybe struggles to make those three balls they've been knocking down. I think this is two long, lengthy teams that kind of canceled each other out. I had this one at like first to 65 wins. I think it's a game probably 68, 64, something like that. I think 139.5 was a bit too high to me. I like both these teams from a defensive standpoint. I'm really a fan of Oklahoma State. I think they're really good on the defensive end. They are just, like I said, tough, long. You look at all of a sudden, this group is 18th in American defensive field goal or defensive efficiency. That is high level stuff. I mean, they held Connecticut to 74, which is pretty impressive. Held Kansas to 69 on Saturday. It was a hard fought loss. Again, two hard fought losses for these teams. Nothing to hang their heads about. But when I look at this game, I kind of just jumped and thought 139.5 to me was a bit too high. Like I said, I think this is a game probably played in the high 60s. You might have one team get to 70 here, but I don't think both teams are going to get to 70. I think this is probably like a 71-65 type of game. It'll be close, but I thought 139.5 was just a bit too high. Another one that I had a thought on was Texas Southern and Southern. I think all of a sudden I've noticed in this conference, the SWAC. Here's one thing you don't want to do when you're looking at these two teams right here. And for the most part, a lot of teams tonight. You're going to see a lot of red if you're looking at KenPom. I would throw out what you've seen from these teams because what you've seen in the non-conference is not indicative of what these two teams are. Texas Southern and Southern are the two best teams in the SWAC, okay? And Texas Southern and Southern both play very tough out-of-conference schedules. So you're going to see some bad offensive numbers. You're going to see some things that you wouldn't normally see. Now, the one thing that majorly jumps out to me here is Texas Southern's free throw percentages. They continue to struggle from the free throw line. It doesn't matter if you're playing the dream team or you're playing a bad group of teams or whatever. A free throw is something that ain't just going to change. Look, Texas Southern's a lot better than their schedule would indicate. They're playing teams now on their level. But one thing they have struggled with last year and this year is free throw shooting. This could be a major difference in this game. Keep in mind last season, okay, this is a better Southern team than last year. This team last year, Southern, beat Texas Southern twice. Okay, they took care of business. And Bryson Etienne, who comes over from Texas Southern, is now on Southern. So it's kind of an interesting dynamic in this game. These are two good basketball teams in the SWAC. I believe one of these two teams will represent this conference in the NCAA tournament. But again, throw out what you've seen so far because these teams are playing teams that are a lot more on their wavelength. You look at, let's just talk about Southern for a second. Put Arizona, UNLV, St. Mary's, Louisiana Tech, Xavier, Youngstown, UAB. All those teams very much can make the NCAA tournament. That is a very good schedule. Texas Southern's played an even tougher schedule. Texas Tech, Arizona State, Houston, Auburn, Kansas, Wichita State, San Francisco is a top 100 team. Oral Roberts is a team that can make a run in the Summit League. All these teams are good, high-level teams. So when you look at this game, to me, if you're going to give me 4 free points with Southern, I'm going to lean that way. I think these teams are about even. You give me the edge in the free throw shooting department. And I'll be honest, I thought Southern has shot the ball pretty well this season. I think they're around 35% from 3, which against that lot of teams, that's pretty good for Southern. So I would definitely have an eye on Southern tonight. I'm going to have a little play on them. I like that little side there down in Houston, Texas tonight. Texas, Southern, and Southern. Speaking of Houston, Texas, a lot of people are talking about Tico, Texas here in the chat. What's up with Tico? Well, listen, Tico ran off at the mouth about something that she has a passion about. She likes Young Thug. I have no disrespect. If she likes Young Thug, that's her prerogative. The guy makes music. He's a rapper. That's his business. The truth of the matter is, though, he is an individual that did not leave the streets behind, and he engaged in selling narcotics, ordering shootings, ordering people to beat people up and assault people. He was the leader of a violent drug trafficking organization that pillaged the streets of Atlanta. Why are we sticking up for this guy? The truth is, he is not a victim. Okay, that's very simple. And I will get into that down the road. Tico's sticking up for a guy she likes. The truth is, though, she looked very dumb in doing it. She doesn't know me. She doesn't know. I don't think she realizes that I have a crime podcast. And this is kind of what I do. But again, when you come to the ring with me, you've got to bring fact. And the fact is, Young Thug is on multiple text messaging, ordering shootings and assaults. That's very hard to get out from. You can't cross-examine a tape, as they say. Throw in the fact that you have probably up to 10 people that are going to cooperate against him. That sucks. It's part of the game. You don't want to get dirty. Don't play in dirt. It's pretty simple. And again, Tico felt the need to get into ad hominem attacks, which doesn't always work. And you can't say you're from the streets when you live in a house the size of that. So listen, if you want to pretend to be a thug, that's your thing. Make sure you can back that up. I'm not saying she does, but neither of us. I don't pretend to be anything. I come on here and I've learned all this stuff over the years, and I think it's helpful for people. That's all. All right, let's get into some comments here. Banksy says, year of Nadu. Thank you. It's always year of Nadu. What's up, Jim S? Jim Carraza, what's up? I'm hungry for some winners. All right. Glad to be here. What's up, TJ? My man. Maximilian says West Virginia is going to win the Big 12. I don't think so, but they've been a lot better than in years past. Um, what else do we have here? Um, is Coburger 100% guilty? DNA linked to other stabbings? I have no idea about other stabbings. Do I think he is guilty? That'll be something we have to wait and see on. I'm going to be doing a space tonight on that. So you can stick by that. I'll have that on a little bit later. Got a big podcast coming out this week on the individual that was caught over the weekend in that murder case. Thank God I was on the right side of that Illinois bad beat. Yeah, that was rough. If you had Illinois there, I feel bad for you, man. I'm sorry. You should have had better there. But that's how it goes. Um, let me talk about the Rose Bowl here. Penn State, Utah. Um, I got to tell you, the opt outs have hurt college football. It sucks. You have a lot of kids in this game out that should be playing today. And what do you get? You get a quality of poor bowl games a lot of the time. Case in point, look at Purdue today. Just don't care. Penn State, though, and Utah will care. Last year, if you remember this game, it was up and down. Remember that game? You look at who's out on both sides. Dalton Kincaid out, the star tight end for Utah. Also, one of their best corners is out. You look at Penn State, Joey Porter not going to play. Parker Washington, the receiver, is out. You have two quarterbacks here that can sling it around. But what do we know about Penn State? They want to keep the football on the ground, and I think Utah does as well. I honestly had a tough one here because I think the people out are going to hurt Utah a little bit more. It's hard, though, because when I look at Utah, I've always said, I think when you have Utah in a pick'em type game, in a bowl game, you always have to lean Utah because Whittingham is elite in bowl games. He is one of the best bowl coaches in college football as far as ATS is concerned. You have him against James Franklin, who obviously don't want to ever back. I also know that I have the better quarterback here. Um, Defensively, I think you'd have to lean Penn State, but some of the intangibles you lead with Utah. I think to me, if you're going to give me a point and a half here with the Utes, I would lean that way. I think it's a really tough game, though, because I always like to lead on to the fact of I like Penn State defensively, but do I like them as much defensively without Joey Porter? Joey Porter is probably their best defensive player. So I have a lot of issue there. I lean Utah here. I always want to be on the side of Whittingham in a bowl game. It's just that simple to me. Plus, hey, in a 1-point game, I get an extra point. So I think they get the job done here. As far as the total was concerned, my first thought was 30-27, something like that. You have a number that was opening. It's around 51.5. It went up to 52.5, then up to 53.5, even to 54. Now it's back down to 53.5. So a lot of the money has come in and bet this game up and over the number, right? By the way, I think one of the easier bowl bets, I actually forgot to put it out, but I bet it myself, this over in this Tulane game. I mean, guys, one thing you have to notice, okay, in bowl games, this is something to think about down the road, next year, and that sort of thing. When you have a team like USC that's going to move the ball against anybody, okay, they're going to score points. That's how they go. They have the best quarterback in the country, just a kid that could go up and down. But when you have a team like USC, also what you have is you have an athletic advantage. Okay. So when you see numbers like Tulane's 40th against the pass, that all goes by the wayside when you play a team like USC. They're just bigger, faster, stronger, more athletic. Tulane, they're going to move the ball against USC because USC can't stop anybody. These are the kind of games you just bet with the money and take this game up. I had that at 72. I was surprised to see it only in the mid-60s. I guess there was thought that Caleb Williams would be the same player. Hamstring bothered him a little bit, but he's answered all the calls in this game. And this game is already over the number. It was over the number at beginning of the fourth quarter. Tonight you got Bills, Bengals. I played the Bills. I got money line. I played this at 120 on a money line, and I'm happy to see that the number is moving up a little bit. Obviously, this is a huge game for the Cincinnati Bengals, but listen to me. I'm always going to lead on with the sharp side in this game. And to me, if I can get a sharp side with the better team, I'm all over it. I love Joe Burrow. I love the Bengals. I actually picked them before the season to win the title. And this is a big game. This would be a big game in the state of Ohio. And by the way, if you're in Ohio, make sure you're betting with the Barstool Sportsbook. It is live now. But to me, again, I'm getting the better team. I'm getting the sharp money on my side here. And I'm going to fade what I think the public thinks is a must win, a game that, again, just because the team has to win doesn't mean they're going to win. Okay. Sorry. And again, the Bengals have to win here. Okay. It's one of those huge tests. Calling it the test of attitude here. High stakes showdown. But I have the better defense. I have the better offense. I have the better quarterback. I have the better coach. I have pretty much everything here. I'm not real worried about a road game. It's the NFL. I don't care that much about that. And if anybody's been through a tough season, it's the Bills from a weather road game standpoint. Who cares about road games? Is there any more team more tested on the road than the Bills? I got money line. I'm loving that price. 120. Boom. Bang. All right. Let me talk about a few other comments here. Yeah, I don't have much on Eastern Kentucky, Kennesaw. There's really not much in this card to really be interested in, to be real honest. I'm not going to do anything with room decor. I'm hopefully moving soon. And again, I don't really need your interior decorating tips, Bill. I'm good. I don't need them. I'm a minimalist. I don't need anything here. I have plenty in the front part of this room. I have a TV. I have a lamp. I have a big desk with plenty of books and everything I need. It's a room, Bill. I don't need much behind me. And again, Bill, if I wanted your interior decorating tips, I would ask. Thoughts on Purdue being undefeated while being abysmal from 3 all year? Yeah, that just means that they're, again, not playing even their best, and they're still an elite team. That was a tough game for me tonight because I like Rutgers, but I don't like Rutgers on the road. Purdue is a team that has answered the call, but I like these big Rutgers guards. Harper played really well last year for them and actually beat Purdue. I remember because that was the same. That was the night before Rough and Rowdy, I believe, when Rutgers beat Purdue. I remember sitting in the. It was right after the weigh-in. I was sitting in the restaurant down in Charleston. We were watching that game. It was on TV. If I had to play it, I'd lean Rutgers, but it's a tough one. Frank says, "Man of honor." What's up, Frank? I had Illinois. Damn, I'm sorry to hear that, man. What's up, Steven? Thanks, brother. Yep, I didn't have much on Purdue. Honestly, if I had to play it, with Rutgers there. Very tough game though. It's a tough card. This is what you're gonna get on a Monday. It's what you're gonna get on a Monday. I have your spot here. If you want to ask any questions, you're welcome to do it. Nadu kind of looks like a Georgia Bulldog. I've heard that before. Someone says I look like Ugga. Yes, I actually have heard that many times. I have a kind of a bulldog look. All right with that. There's worse dogs to look like, I guess. I always thought a bulldog was a cool dog. Pugs are cool too. I think a pug's a cool dog. Dogs are pretty cool in general. I'm a big dog guy. I don't know how many people know that, but I don't have a dog my own, but I do like dogs. I think they're pretty cool. But a dog is a lot of work. You obviously have to, it's almost like having a kid, right? You have to think of things like you don't want to leave them at home for too long. You don't want to, you feel like if you go somewhere, you have to take it to a kennel or a dog grooming place or whatever. It's just a lot of work. And I'm maybe someday I'll get a dog. We'll see. Who are your Power Five bigger mid-major conference champ favorites? You could ask about a specific conference, but I'm not going through all of them. Yeah, again, I don't have much on that one. That's not a component to only betting a game. If a team can't make free throws, that's not the only reason they're not going to cover or win. They got to look at other things. And as far as tomorrow's games, I'll talk about tomorrow's games tomorrow. People are asking about that here. I'm going to try to get more guests on the show. Maybe we'll try to get Kelly back on tomorrow night. We're going to have Jim obviously on Thursday. But kind of a low level night here of sports, right? You have bowl games kind of early, not much on the college card tonight. So yeah. Do I have any thoughts on Lipscomb? No, not against Liberty. Liberty's very good. I don't know. It's January 2nd. I have no idea. I'll go Duke. I'll go Duke, Tennessee, Arizona, Kent State. There you go. Off the top of the dome. Yeah, I had plenty of futures in college hoops. Thoughts on Michigan so far this year? Big win last night. That was a huge win. That was one of those rocking chair winners, man. Just from the beginning. Was it 19-1 at one point? It was 50-16 at one point. Just an impressive game for Michigan. Needed it, finally. You finally got a big performance out of Hunter Dickinson. That was needed. They play well against Maryland. Dickinson dominated them last year. Got the job done so far this year. Same to you, Jeff. Thank you. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to wrap this up. I wanted to keep this to around 20, 30 minutes. We don't have a ton to go off of here today. That's pretty much it. I mean, we pretty much went over all we needed to. For me, I played Oklahoma State, West Virginia under 139.5. I also have a small play on Southern +4. And I have the Bills tonight, minus. Actually, I don't have minus anything. I'm money line. Yeah, who calls Miami UM? I think you got to be a little more specific when you say UM. That could be Michigan. That could be Marshall. That could be Miami. That could be so many different things. So yeah. Do I have any thoughts on Rick Pitino to Georgetown? I don't think Rick Pitino will coach at that level again. I think he's kind of where he will be and where he's going to be. You never know. You never know. Maybe are we willing to put the past behind us with him? We'll see. He's a great coach. I think he's one of the only two coaches active that has won multiple national titles. So, yeah, he's a great coach. He's a great coach. We'll see. But all right, guys, I'm out of here. That's your look today in some gambling, some basketball, some football. I wish you luck. Tomorrow, we kind of turn the page on 2022. We're still kind of in 2022, aren't we? This feels like a holiday today. I think everyone's back to work tomorrow, normal Tuesday. What I'm going to try to do is get Kelly in Vegas on the show. We'll talk some hoops, some football. We'll look ahead to the final week of the NFL season and more. So make sure you join me, same time tomorrow, 4 o'clock Eastern here on the Barstool Sportsbook YouTube channel. I wish you luck. I hope you have a great Monday.